Snooker's World Cup is back after 2 years. Last time, of course, it was won by two teenagers, the China B team of Zhao Yulong and Yang Bingtao, just 17 and 15 respectively. And in fact, they've already played today. Earlier on, they beat Finland 4-1, so that's a good start for them in Group A. Scotland, though, were beaten 3-2 by Thailand, but as I said earlier, you get a point for each frame you win, so it's not fatal. This is Simon Lichtenberger. He's just 19. He's going to be representing Germany in the first frame. Just to remind you, 2 singles frames, a doubles frame, and then reverse singles, which means, of course, Fu will play Lucas Kleckers. You can hear the cheers for China. That's the introductions there for their team. China A, that is. As I say, China B already victorious today. And these are all matches in Group B, 6 teams in this group. Belgium v Egypt, that's the other match on table 3 right now. Good day already for Belgium. They've just been announced to the city of Lommel in Belgium has been announced as the venue for the European Masters in October. So we're ready to get underway at last, and Hong Kong against Germany here in Group B. Dai Liang is the referee. And it's Simon Lichtenberg for Germany to start. We're going to see a few unfamiliar faces over the course of the next few days. Mike Allett is a familiar face. He's alongside me. It's a little bit different, though, this week, Mike, because, of course, not just playing for themselves, they're playing for their countries. Absolutely.
Isn't it nice to have the World Team Cup back? And they're going to have some fun this week. Good crowd in. Of course, we know all about this man, and I think the applause were possibly for Ding Junhui on the other side of the petition. But, yeah, looking forward to a great week. Combined, of course, as David just mentioned, of singles, doubles. Hang on, that could be close. Ooh, well, it was closer the second time. So yes, very interesting. And as you say, David, a showcase really for the likes of Simon here. You know, he could really show the public what he can do. Lucas Kleckers, of course, in this team has just come through the Q School as well. So there's some strong teams, but some also very, very potential good teams and possible winners. Who knows?
Yes, and there's players like Lichtenberg who are not used to the TV setup. That's something that he's got to try and get used to. It's quite hard because, of course, he's only playing 1 frame and then he'll be back later for the doubles and then another singles frame. So it's a little bit stop-start, but this is a chance.
What?
Yeah, difficult to get onto a colour from there. Perhaps backspin would have been easier. I don't know whether I don't think he can get to the pink. Don't think he'll take the blue one. He's got to cover this red on the right-hand side. So obviously, Marco, a strong favourite in this singles game with all the experience. But you know, we've already seen 1 or 2 results this morning that have gone other ways. So who knows? A couple of centuries made today. 130 actually by John Higgins in the 5th frame of their match this morning against Thailand, the highest so far.
Yes, if this was a best of 9, Marco Fu would be pretty much a certainty, but they're only playing 1 frame, so it's a bit of a leveller as he knocks that one in. Wasn't the best safety from Lichtenberg.
Yeah, great cueing though from Marco.
Marco Fu didn't enter the Riga Masters. He did play a qualifier for the China Championship, and in the first 2 frames of that match against Sanderson Lam, he made 2 centuries. So first 2 frames of the season, 2 centuries.
Yeah, we're used to the 1 against 1 situations, David. Now, this is a nice change, isn't it, really, from the norm?
Yes, it's the same game, and there'll be the same pressure, maybe more, playing for your country as well. But Hong Kong have got a solid team player here in the shape of Marco Fu. He's actually bringing out his autobiography later this year. He'll be 20 years a professional. And of course there is an event in Hong Kong, big money event, at the end of the month, with 8 big hitters, including Fu, involved.
Where does the time go, eh? Amazing.
He knows if Hong Kong are going to do well in this event, he's got to win his frames, really, because the other player, Oh Chi Wei, experienced, yes, but not a professional. So Fu, if he can win his singles frames and do well at the doubles as well, then they have a chance. They came 3rd in their group last time, 2 years ago, just missed out on a quarter-final spot. The China team of Ding and Liang, I guess, have got to be favourites to win the group. Ireland with Ken and Fergal, particularly after Ken Doherty's run in Riga, also big contenders, I'd say.
Wales are strong.
Yeah, I just mean this group in terms of the top two. Belgium as well, you know, Luca Brissell, another dangerous player in the mix. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds. Yes, Wales in Group A won 5-0 against Norway, so a great start for Williams and Ryan Day there.
Yes, Ryan Day, of course, the recent winner in Riga. And, congratulations to him, his first ranking event title. And he's been knocking on the door for some time. He played really well at the end of last season, so I'm really glad that he picked up that trophy in Riga. Black tied up, so he's having to concentrate on the blue or the pink. He's got a kick there, I think. He's just taken a little bit of pace out of the white. And now it's a more difficult blue than it should have been. He'll still try and cut this into the centre. Oh, he's played the green, actually. My apologies. Played it well. Wonder if he can get through to the red that's left of the black. He could play a possible cannon here if he moves that red away from the black while it's all open. If he misses the red, he'd be on the blue, so it might be worth playing the cannon. No, too much side. Just left this a little bit awkward now. Different mindset this, because you're playing for your partner, the team, not just yourself, so you might see one or two pots sort of refused. Well, he's played one there. That's a great return. Excellent.
Simon Lichtenberg did play in the Q School. He won a couple of matches in the first event. In fact, he made a century as well.
Young team, this German team, David, isn't it? Of course, Lucas come through. He's only 21, and Simon's just at the table here. He's only 19.
Yes, and I'm sure he's already been inspired by what Lucas Kleckers did. He came through that Q School fair and square, and some achievement.
Well, we thought that in Riga, we thought to find a new star. He put out the defending champion and played really well to beat Neil Robertson. And yeah, I look forward to seeing Lucas's sort of improvement over the next couple of seasons. Would be nice to have a champion from Germany. The snooker is massive there, it really is.
Yes, it bodes well for the future. I mean, as you say, snooker already very popular in Germany, but now they've got their own player to follow. It's even better, and what a nice shot that was as well from Lichtenberg. Just that well.
I think Marco could just get through the gap to a red here. It's just, I think the one just above the black. Well, he's got the angle to play the safety is another thing. This looks like trouble. Can he get that white back to bulk? Yes, he can. Well, he's had to hit it on the thick side, which means he's brought the red down the table. Well, he only just avoided the one in the middle of the table. He's got away with that a little bit. Yeah, a little bit lucky there, Marco. Taking this one on then. Well played. Huh, clean as a whistle.
Yeah, it was a brave shot to play. It was all or nothing really, that, where the Reds were. Had to pot it really, and look at this. He did knock it in superbly.
Yeah, I thought he might play the one in bulk, David. Just cushion first, pushing down the table, but he went for it. And if he's on the blue, I think he's got a great chance here. Well, it's obviously a little bit tight. Perhaps he's not gone far enough. He might have to take the more difficult brown, and that's missable, especially with the red there. Well, here we go. He might leave everything on here if he doesn't get this. Not guaranteed. Well played. Well, that's two great pots. Really is. I mean, the red to get in, and then the recovery pot as well. Excellent. These young whippersnappers, Dave, you never know, they can throw up these surprises, can't they?
Well, I just think the format, you know, one frame. As I said earlier, you know, best of 9, Fu, heavy favourite, but just one frame, not a lot of time to settle in. He was in first, but lost position. Failed to get that cannon when he was in to stay on the black.
Well, that's the lack of experience on these fast tables. He's played on the one near the black spot, just overdid it slightly. You know, he's got this trickier one down the cushion, but he would be on the black. He's definitely played on the higher red. So fast, these tables, you need time on them. Well, again, this is no gimme. Looks good. Well played. I just thought it looked a little bit wide, but the pocket took it.
Well, it's a good sign if he's knocking those in. As you say, it was a pressure ball.
Again, the pace just catching him out a little bit. He's definitely played on the one near the black spot. He's got the one to the centre, though.
17.
Well, didn't play on the one near the black spot because the black spot is. So I'll take that back. Well, sounds like there's things happening on the other side.
23.
Yeah, it's worth saying, I mean, obviously Ding is popular in China, but Wuxi City is his home city. So he's really popular here, and you're going to hear them cheering every ball when he's involved.
Well, once again, good recovery. It's not the right side of the blue, but he can just drop this in for the open red. 2 or 3 really nice recovery pots here.
Nine.
Well, he's working hard for these. Hasn't quite had that cue ball under control. Now he is out of position. Well, tucking behind the pink and the brown here from the green, I think, is the shot.
Rainbow.
Yep, it's nominated the green. So looking for the snooker. Well, that was a very good visit there from Simon. Got Marco in trouble. Sorry, David.
No, he looked very cool, didn't he, as he went about that. A couple of pressure balls, and not least the first one that he knocked in, but kept it going.
Yeah, just, again, as I say, just settling into the pace, really, isn't it? But this guy knows all about these tables, but of course a lot of players in this tournament do not experience these conditions often.
Oh dear, he's badly misjudged that. This is going to be a free ball.
Well, that's a disaster.
And a third ball.
Yeah, free ball. Well, what a mistake from Fu. The noise in the background is because China won the first frame. China A against Republic of Ireland.
Pink ball.
So the pink, of course, counts as 1.
One.
Red obviously passes a black. That would free up the other one as well. So he's got a good 12-point lead here, Simon, and good chance to take this opening frame. He's looked pretty cool. Just enough room.
Minute 5.
He got too much of it. Now then, has he covered it? I think he might have just covered the potting angle with the pink.
So rather tense start, 12 points in it. Fu the man trailing.
That was a good chance. If they knocked that in, he was on the yellow or the brown. But a chance here now for Marco to counter. He's 12 points behind, but only the green that's a little bit awkward, but a good angle to get him behind the brown. Oh, he's overcut it. Well, this opening frame could still go either way.
Remember, there are 4 groups. In Group D earlier, Scotland were beaten in their first match, 3-2. John Higgins and Anthony McGill. Scotland would be among the favourites, of course. But as I say, you get a point for each frame you win, so it's not like you win a match, you get a point. You get a point for a frame, so they got 2 points. Not disastrous by any means. Northern Ireland are in that group as well. It's a dangerous team, I think. Mark Allen and Joe Swale. Good team that. They won 4-1 against Cyprus. And Israel beat India 3-2 in the other match.
Well, I think he caught that a little bit thinner than intended, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Can get the cue in there though. This is a chance to knock this red in to the left corner, and he will probably be on the brown. A bit short of pace. Don't know whether Simon fancies taking this one on. He's certainly on the black. Well, he's not holding back, the young man. He's lining this up. He's having a go here. Why not? Oh. What can you say? Look at that half-stun shot to get perfectly on the black. I mean, like I said, he's not been in these conditions or this sort of situation, well, never before, I think. He's only 19 years of age. What great experience this is. And now, with that great pot, a chance to win the frame. He's not seen some good pots here, dude. 19 years of age, match table.
Yeah, he's got every right to be really nervous. He doesn't look it at all. He looks the opposite, really confident. Clearly relishing the opportunity here. Red and the black will be 28 in front with 27 on.
9.
So this black effectively frame ball.
Yeah, he's taking on the world number 6 here.
Oh, and it was frame ball, as I say, and maybe that's why he didn't pot it. The knowledge that Fu would have needed a snooker.
Well, the only plus for him, a couple of shots ago, Marco just nudged that green closer to that side cushion. But this will take a good shot, you know, with top spinner right-hand side to get on the green here, unless he plays the stun, which he has done. Now, anything but straight here.
2.
Well, there's no way you can get on the brown from that. Only into the other corner, though. You can't get across for it. Well, he tried to force the angle. He might have given this frame away. This is not an easy pot.
2.
Well, if he does pot it, he'll need the brown as well. Fu would be able to tie.
Yeah, it just looks like he's got enough angle here to get out. He's playing it with top spin, so off the side cushion.
Yeah, I guess it made the difference that he needed the brown as well. He couldn't just drop the green in, so this frame's still very much in the balance. 19 in it, 25 on.
Hasn't left it, though. Well, he couldn't get the pot, but it gave him a chance to lay a good snooker, and he has done. Not that difficult to hit off the side cushion. About a foot beyond the middle pocket. You can get right in behind it. You might be able to kick it up the table and then just hold the white there. Might just be enough room. Oh. Good hit. But he's pushed it towards the corner. Well, that's not easy for Marco to get the white back for the brown. This is going to need some cueing. And it was. He's played it well. It looks good. Oh, he's done well to get there. Excellent.
Simon Lichtenberg, remember, had that black to lead by 28 to 27 on. He's Fu going to steal it from under him.
Well, you would think so from here.
Yeah, he's played a good frame, Lichtenberg, but Fu needs these 3 balls to win it.
Yeah, just that one ball from victory.
Well, Marco Fu, as I say, for Hong Kong, he really needs to win his frames. Could easily have lost this one. It was this ball that Simon Lichtenberg missed. But Marco Fu hasn't missed it. And he gives Hong Kong the first frame of this match in dramatic circumstances. Really just that one slip up from his opponent when it looked like he had the frame won, and Fu, I'm sure, very relieved to get the frame on the board. The next frame is between Oh Chi Wei and Lucas Kleckers as the World Cup continues here in China. Who's just watched, I'm sure, rather nervously, Marco Fu win the first frame for Hong Kong on the black. He's up against Lucas Kleckers, new professional, who had a great win in Riga last week when he beat Neil Robertson in a decider. Little thumbs up there to someone in the crowd. So Lucas Kleckers, he's the professional. Younger man, just 21, Oh Chi Wei 47. Very experienced though in team events. He's partnered Marco Fu in various tournaments, including the World Cup 2 years ago. Yes, Kleckers came through the Q school to turn professional.
Well, his team captain did very well to pinch that first frame. Can he push on here for Hong Kong? But Lucas, well, he showed what he could do in the recent Riga Masters. Good talent, this young man. Just for all of those at home, the format is there's 2 singles, a doubles frame, and then reverse singles. 5 frames to be played, all 5 to be played. A point for each frame. 1.
That's the thing, you know, you could be 4-0 down, but the last frame could be crucial when it comes to the countback. And there is one scenario where it could go to a blue ball shootout to decide who's in the top 2. I suppose penalty shootout, that might favour Germany in World Cups.
Steady.
Wouldn't favour England, I know that much.
Yeah, England, Germany in the semi-finals.
Some news from table 3, Belgium won the first frame there. Luca Brissell, that was, against Egypt. It is truly a World Cup. It's a proper international event, this. Of course, China have 2 teams as the hosts. And apart from anything else, he couldn't really leave out Xiao Yulong and Yan Bingtao, having won it last time. Mark Selby had been due to represent England, of course, but broke his toe a few weeks back, so that also counted him out of Riga. So it's Judd Trump and Barry Hawkins. Barry got the call. He only got the visa last minute. It was touch and go as to whether he'd actually make it, but he has done. And they're up later, of course, against Switzerland. This event has got a long history in various forms. It first held a World Cup in 1979, won by the Welsh Holy Trinity of Ray Reardon, Terry Griffiths and Doug Mountjoy, and then various versions of the tournament have been held over the years. Of course, in those days it was a 3-man team, and now 2-man teams.
Well, from that camera angle, I think you can get through to that. From the overhead, it looked covered. Just depends what you can do with the cue ball. Oh, well, so that's a big mistake, and you could definitely get through to the red. I just wonder whether you can see enough of this one that's above the black spot here. If you can drop that in for the black, I think it goes to the right corner. I think the one to the left middle is favourite.
One.
Well, the pink would go on to the brown spot. Oh, it does spot actually. No, he can get himself onto the black here.
7.
Always looking to get around the black spot as early as possible. Well, he's played that pretty well. Always difficult to judge the pace when you get in the cue ball away from those top pockets. Well, he's going to have to go down for the blue this time. Can't hold for the black from there, I don't think. This is a good chance, though.
15.
Well, that's very much surprised me. He's decided to hold high on the black unless he can see enough of the pink. No, well, I think he should have gone down for the blue there because he finished up leaving himself a more difficult pot on the black. Another chance for Lucas then. Pick up the pieces.
Well, the cheers of a ding over on the main table. It's about to make it 2-0 for China against Ireland.
Yes, against the darling of Dublin, Ken Doherty. I think he went down to the colours. I think Ding knocked in an unbelievable final red and cleared. So a close one, but it's 2-0 to China A. Meanwhile, Lucas here, a great chance to level up this match.
Yeah, you talk about good atmospheres, the Tempodrome, of course, in Berlin, where we have the German Masters. It would be great if Lucas Kleckers could qualify. He'd have to win 2 matches when that comes around at the end of the year, but if he can get through to his home venue, then that will be some experience.
Well, I was talking to some of the lads in the club last week, David, and I'm just saying that whatever you do, you must get yourself over to the Tempodrome because it's an unbelievable atmosphere, isn't it? I'm trying to drag 3 or 4 of the lads over next year to come over and watch it because it is great. It's a lovely city as well.
Well, Ochiwe had a chance, but he's back in his chair. And Kleckers, he's only 21, but he knows he's the senior man here in this team. He's the professional. He's 2 years older than his compatriot. So he's got to try and certainly win frames like this where he will be the favourite as the pro. Obviously, he's got to play Fu later.
Just landed the wrong side on the black there. I wanted to be a little bit lower. There's still a red available to the right corner, but I think he's going to have to stun off the top cushion here. But make sure he gets the white in good position. He's thinking about the right hand red. That's a possible, a bit of topspin. It's definitely the easier positional shot. He's gone for the other one, but has he gone too high? I said it had to be good. Well, it might be okay.
32.
Not sure now. I think he's gone a fraction too far. Well, I don't know whether he can kick this in with a bit of side, but don't be surprised if he just clips the red in front of it. Doesn't like it. Left hand side, trying to kick it in. Yeah, well played, got enough of it. Perfect angle for the cannon here into the bunch. If he gets this right, it should be one apiece. Well, he's gone in gentle. I thought he would have gone in with a lot more pace than that. And I'm not sure whether he's landed on anything. Well, for me, he should have gone in heavier with the cue ball. There might be one there, but he's very close to this red. He's got to be careful he doesn't play a push shot here. Well, I'm not so sure about this one with the lead that he has. He had a 24-point lead. He's got to hit this clean. He could still get back for the black here. Hold on. Not quite enough though for the black. It's funny because an experienced player will probably play a safety here, but with the youngsters sometimes they take on the blue. They haven't got the scars yet, David, have they? They'll get them over the years.
Well, that's a certainty, I think. But he did the sensible thing in the end. Leads by 25.
Although this man is 25 points behind, there's still plenty on here. Not bad. Could have done the white with the white on the top cushion though. He's giving Lucas a chance to play a better safety here. Got away with that a little. Didn't play it very well, especially with the cue ball finishing near the side cushion. It's a pretty good safety. Blocked off the left-hand side. Might be forced into a pot here. Well, he likes to take them on. could put the white to the top cushion, but he might leave one to the middle. Went for the pot. Oh, what about that one? Well, he took his time over it, but what a pot that is.
And a lovely kiss as well, just down the black. Just caught the red, and he's nicely on the black.
Well, if you get those, if you're taking them on and getting them, you deserve all you get. Just look at that. He knew he was going into the other reds.
Just come a bit short there, though.
8.
That's disappointing, having knocked in such a good red. Scored just 8 from it. Good chance of that to kill the frame off. He's already well in front.
Well, nothing wrong with that. And again, it's one of those situations where Lucas might be forced into a pot with this red on the right hand side. I don't think you can see anything else. Well, can he clip that red on the left hand side there? Well, it seems that he can see some of it. Playing a little swerve as well. Well, he can't. He's playing the swerve. He's got to be careful here. Well, I was about to say he's been lucky there, but he hasn't. He's definitely left one on.
Well, in the first frame we saw Simon Lichtenberg with needing just a black really to win the frame, missed it. In this frame, Klecker's got him with a great red, well in front, went wrong, lost position, and now he's back in his seat.
What?
With Hong Kong having another chance to steal a frame they could easily have lost. Certainly experience favours Hong Kong. The combined age of their team is 86. Germany's just 40. As I say, Oh Chi Wei here has partnered Fu in quite a few international events.
I'd like to have played that one again. He's just left himself a little bit hampered over this red. And it's not, well, it's not an easy table to clear from here. Nicely done. Now, which red will he play on? The open one, or try and nudge the one near the pink? He only needs to clip the pink. Might be going for the cannon. He has done. Oh, too full. Well, he's got the red open. At least he can play a safety from the other one. Just make sure of a good safety here. Put Lucas under some pressure. Just 13 points in it. Well, there's a chance to take the cue ball between the blue and the yellow, and possibly, if you can get it in the middle of the back cushion behind the brown, that would be perfect. Bit more would be nice. No, he hasn't quite got the snooker. Wasn't far away.
Well, he came very close to fluking it, but in fact he's left a pot on. 13 points in it. And really the only slightly awkward ball is the other red.
What?
Well, I think this is okay because the pink does go. You'll probably play the pink here for the final red. Not sure whether he was trying to play on the black. Black back onto its own spot would have helped. But this shouldn't be a problem. Well, the pink is definitely favourite. Off straight with the red. You can do anything with the cue ball. No, missed it.
Classic case there of thinking about the positional side and not quite concentrating on the pot, I think.
Well, this was always going to be awkward down the cushion, whoever was playing it. And well, this could be rattled. Well, chose not to play it, that's fair enough. Needs to run on a bit though. Always left it on. I know it's this distance between them with the cue ball near the top cushion, but it's a chance.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with playing safe as long as it is safe.
Could have been worse. Well, again, not quite the snooker. Well, again, not 100% safety shot there. He just caught it a little bit thin. It's always better to get the red to the top cushion, even if the white's not in the right place. Now, will Lucas be tempted here with the pot? He might be. If it goes in, it should be the frame. Of course, he's thinking about the team situation, his partner within that team. I think he'll have a go at this. He's of that sort of character. Oh, he did, and he's knocked another one in. fact, he just took the red in the left-hand side of the pocket, which means that the whites come more into the middle of the table. This black is a little bit more awkward now, especially to get to the yellow. He's going to sort of have to play a half stun shot around the green of 2 cushions. He's got a 13-point lead. He'll only need the yellow and the green. OT Weight here, just I think studying the scoreboard. Well, he chose to play it playing ball.
3 minute 1.
.26 still on then. 13 points in it. This could still be 2-0 to Hong Kong. That's a good shot. He played one. He didn't play the pot though. He definitely played that. Well, that was miles away. Didn't get the side to react.
Hong Kong, China 4.
Yeah, that's going back. Take 2 then. There's a bit more side spin on the white. This is better. Well, a decent hit, but he's left it.
Well, Ochi Wei needs down to the pink. He's going to win this frame. It's become very nervy though, this frame. Get the feeling it won't be straightforward. There you are.
Well, I think he would have snookered himself on the green anyway if it had gone in, but I mean, Lucas here has the chance for the pot, but not easy to get close to the green, especially where the cue ball is. Well, again, downward striking, very easy to miss this when you're trying to put power into the cue ball. Not much angle there.
Two.
Well, good pot. Won't be taking this on. He'll be sort of trying to tuck him behind the brown here. And he left it short, but this green looks fairly straight.
Again, that was a chance to put Ochi Wei in quite serious trouble, and not the snooker.
Well, there's a little bit of angle, not much, but take some cueing to knock that and get onto the brown. Didn't fancy it. That's fair enough. Oh, this looks better. Well played. Well, again, it's a fairly big target off that side cushion, just missing the black on the other side. Standard angle really off one cushion. It's all about the contact though, where he leaves the green. Oh well, it's got to talk about the contact.
Wow, and miss.
Well, the white's gone in, but I think that's going back behind the pink.
The difference it makes is that now Kleckers only needs green and brown.
Well, I'm very surprised if he's thinking of anything else, playing the green outer ball. Just put the white back. He's got to lay another good snooker from this shot. I don't see the point in that. He's already got one. Why play one when there's one already there?
Well, he's heard you, because he is putting it back out of luck, but no, like you say, he's in a snooker here, so why risk it? I can tell you that Egypt have levelled with Belgium, one apiece. Ireland are playing for snookers in the doubles frame, otherwise it's 3-0 to China A.
Good hit. Might have left it though. And there's enough room to get the cue in there. What, 15-point lead? Got to get back for the brown, of course. Well, he's put the mini butt on the cue and it's still a bit of a stretch. Well, that was a good chance to level up the match there. I just wonder whether Ochi Wei will take this on. He's got the angle to stun over for the brown and just look where the rest of the colours are, just waiting to be potted. That might have been a chance miss there for the young man.
Yeah, I mean, Germany have made the running in both frames, but we've already seen them lose the first one on the black. As Ochi Wei lines up the green. But doesn't pot it. It's a nervy affair, this, I think, for a couple of reasons. One, it's just one frame, so it's not like you can put it right in the next frame. And the other, of course, is they're not just playing individual snooker, it's for their countries.
Yeah, notwithstanding that though, at the end of the week, there's a lot of prize money on offer, isn't there? There's what, $200,000 to the winning team, 175,000 euros. What's that equate to? About 140,000 pounds. So it's 70,000 pounds each for the winning team. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and also the winners getting the champion of champions. Now, some of the players are already qualified, but there are players here who their best chance to get in that tournament would be to win the World Cup. So that's all there in the background as well.
This needs to run on, needs to keep going. Well, I'm not sure. Well, I think that is cuttable. It's all about the cue ball, though, if Lucas takes it on.
Well, China have won the doubles frame on table 1. That's what the applause is for. So it's 3-0. Great start for Ding and Liang. Against, of course, a very strong team in Ken Doherty and Fergal O'Brien. They actually represented Ireland in the World Cup in 1996 in Thailand.
Ken still looks the same, doesn't he? He's only won that title, the world title in '97. He's never changed. Must be the black stuff, you know. Great pot. Well, it was down to the green. Now it's down to the brown.
Yes, and this is where Oh Chi Wei has to be careful, because Kleckers only needs the brown. Well, in fact, that's now the scores are gone on. That isn't right, is it? Sorry, the graphic was a little behind there. So, in fact, he does need the blue as well. Even so, the blue's out in open play. So, Kleckers, you still make slight favourite here, but he's had several chances already to put it away and hasn't quite managed it.
Ooh, that's a bit dangerous. It's okay now, though. Well, as always, it's going to be about the contact here. Not sometimes difficult to get out of the snookers, but trying to get them safe is. Interesting to see what pace he plays this out. Missed it, I think. No, that's going back.
Meanwhile, Belgium have won the doubles frame against Egypt, so it's 2-1 to Belgium on table 3.
Well, I think he'll settle for that. There was a chance that he might have just pushed that over the middle. Well, I think he could have done better with that. Needs to slow down. Oh, he's left it. Well, Chi Wei here needs them all. The danger here is the white going towards the middle pocket. He had a few chances to put this frame away. Will he get another one? Keep an eye on the cue ball here, though. He's done well. Yeah, perfect. Nicely done. Again, he needs them all, though. But they're out in the open.
Well, Marco Fu cleared up to win on the black in the first frame. Can Oh Chi Wei do the same? As I say, Germany in both frames had chances, definite chances to win.
Well, if this fella does that here, well, this is a good partner for Marco. Oh.
Yeah, slight stretch, but also, of course, pressure. He was always going to be on the black, so the pink was frame ball there, and it's not gone in.
Massive disappointment there, but at least he hasn't left the pink on. Lucas is going to have to throw this around the table. Oh, push it to the side cushion. Well, again, it should have been a better safety than that. Well, that was risky. That was really risky. I mean, if you couldn't guarantee the white behind the black, you must make sure you get the pink safe. One good pot here, and he stuns over for the black. Well, I mean, he was a couple of pots away from making it 2-0. How she wait? Now, can Lucas knock this in? Well, that's if he's going for it.
Well, there's the answer. He's not. His cue ball's close.
And that's the mindset, David, isn't it? Because I think if that had been an individual match and a one-to-one basis in a normal tournament, I think he would have gone for that pink.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Oh Chi Wei had a shot at it himself. Now he's in a bit of trouble here. You can see he is snookered. There's a long way between the two of them. 12 foot, in fact. All about where it finishes. It's not finished well for the man from Hong Kong, who had this pink a moment ago, effectively for victory. As I say, he was on the black to the middle. Lucas Kleckers then has dodged a bullet, it would seem. Still got to put the frame away, though.
6.
He'll be very relieved, to say the least. He really will be relieved. It's a frame he could easily have lost. Probably should have lost, but he's won it. And so it's honours even. 2 black ball frames. The first won by Hong Kong, the second by Germany. And we're all square 1 apiece in this 5-frame match. The players are staying out there because they're going to be joined by their respective partners, because the next frame is doubles. Germany the second. So Simon Lichtenberg returns for Germany. Mike, you're a bit of a doubles specialist, of course. You won the world title with Stephen Hendry.
Yeah, I carried him for a couple of years. Yes, yeah. So when I made the phone call, I said, well, can you give me some time to think about it, Stephen?
And are there any tactics as such, or do you just sort of play your normal game?
Well, he did all the safety and I did all the potting. No, it's the other way around, actually. Obviously, the best player ever been in the game, and you know the sort of amount of the power scoring he was. So basically, it was for me to keep the other boys out, you know, keep them tight and put the pressure on them, so they got the mistakes, and Steve would step in and hopefully do the business. So, which he did on numerous occasions, and I was pleased and proud to be his partner. As simple as that. World champion, world #1, doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, I think, here, because obviously Marco Fu is a very heavy scorer, and Che Wei seems a pretty good safety player. So if he can do that, if he can keep these two lads out, and then Marco Fu steps in, then Hong Kong you'd make favourites. But we'll see. It's only one frame.
Yeah, he's got to try and get Marco in. There's no doubt about that.
As I said earlier, Fu, his first 2 frames of the season, made 2 centuries in that China Championship qualifier. And was very relieved, of course, to win the first frame here on the black.
Yeah, Marco has the first chance then. Well played. Well, he's just clipped the blue on the way through, but he's lost the white slightly. Could still play the green to the middle. Well, we nearly saw the replay. Yeah, as I mentioned, like, Chi Wei would be a good partner for Marco, in as much that, you know, if he can pinch a couple of frames in matches, we know that Marco is going to be the stronger player. But, you know, it's all up to all down to the other partner, really. But nothing's guaranteed in this format. When you look at the strength of Wales, who we've mentioned, Mark Williams and Ryan Day, oof, I mean, you know, China on the other side against Republic of Ireland, China A, that is, Ding Junhui, Liang Wenbo. The Scottish team's pretty strong as well, but they got beat earlier today. So I say you never know. It's a nice format, it's another different tournament, and it's a nice change. But it's still very competitive. I think the season as well, that as we go through, David, it's well balanced, isn't it, with various things. You know, we've got tournaments like Riga, the best of 7s until you get to the semis and that, and then we've got the longer tournaments, the ones written in stone, you know, the UK and the Worlds, and of course the Masters.
19.
So I think it's a good mix now.
Yes, and vastly increased volume of tournaments compared to a few years ago, and indeed prize money. Talk about Ken Doherty not ageing. Marco Fu, 20 years a pro. But he's certainly looked after himself, hasn't he? He's 39 now. Never been a hellraiser, Marco, and never likely to be one. Just a really nice guy and a fantastic player. We saw him last season win that Scottish Open. Played superbly. Well,
if he has been, it's been behind closed doors. No, he's a gentleman of the game. Great competitor.
Of course, this doubles frame, it's not, as you've seen, alternate shots, it's alternate turns. In pool, they play the Scotch doubles, but it'd be very bitty, that would. They did actually try it a few years ago in the World Cup, and it just didn't really work.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it did. It didn't work, did it? It was a bit bitty. This is the right format.
24.
It's 4-0 China. Liang Wenbo's beaten Ken Doherty. So one more frame to come. As I say, it could be important for Ireland if they could win that. On the count back in the group, it could make a difference. But obviously China have made a great start.
They certainly have. One of the favourites, of course, this week. Now, Marco's just left this a little bit short of pace. He might have to clip off another red here for the black. No, not clipped off one, he clipped off several. And he's brought 2 out as well.
Yeah, it's looking good. This is the tactic, isn't it? Get Fu in, and then he stays in and makes a big break. That was the idea. It's working so far in this frame. Two Germans just having to watch on for now, hoping to get back to the table.
And that's the thing, isn't it? You've got to play to your strengths. You know, you play to your strengths as an individual player, but play to team strengths in this format. That's what it's all about.
That's why I'm looking forward to seeing the England team, because Judd Trump, we know, goes for a lot and gets a lot. Barry Hawkins may be a little bit more cautious. Everyone is really compared to Judd. Of course, they're going to play a doubles frame later against Switzerland, so it'll be interesting to see what the tactics are there.
Don't think there's any more loose reds after this one, so Marco needs to leave himself a good angle on the black here. Don't think he can get low on the black. He might have to leave it high, then come off the top cushion. There is a red to the left middle. He's just checked that one, so he could hold for the black here and play that one. Well, he's got the perfect angle to go into them. This could be a key shot. Not bad. He went a little bit gentler than I anticipated, but he's on one to the right corner here. He's got the angle to come down for the black.
57.
Well, Marco Fu is 7th on the all-time list of century break makers with 454 to his name, so he really is one of the very best in the business, and he's proving it again here. Just needs another red after the black. It should be 2-1 to Hong Kong. And although, you know, there are 4 players there, it's all been about one man really, Marco Fu. This is what Hong Kong were hoping he would do, step in and make a frame-winning break.
Yeah, and again, as we keep going about that, it's like the fact that the stronger player in some teams, it's going to be about all what they do, really. You know, they're going to have to win a high percentage of their frames and then rely on their partners to pinch 1 or 2, if they can. Lovely cannon there. It's going to be 2-1 now to Hong Kong.
Yes, I think that applies as well to Australia. You, of course, have Neil Robertson and also Kurt Dunham. Kurt's on the tour, second-year professional, but Robertson, former world champion and all the rest. He knows he's got to step up for Australia. Marco Fu's done that here with a very classy break.
Well, we've had a couple of centuries today already. Could this be the third?
Tonight.
Well, what a great break it's been. And this blue for the century. Yes, excellent stuff from Marco Fu. Scrambled that opening frame on the black, but this has been the complete opposite. One visit was all he needed.
103.
misses the green. It doesn't matter though. 103 from Marco Fu, and Hong Kong are back in front. And we didn't really see the Germans in that frame at all. Marco Fu, when he got the chance, took it out really well. And 2-1 it is to Hong Kong. We've got 2 more singles frames to come. And as you can see, Oh Chi Wei and Simon Lichtenberg are staying where they are. They're going to play the next frame. Hong Kong leading Germany then here in Wuxi by 2 frames to 1. Lichtenberg. Of course, these two are on the wrong end of black ball finishes in their frames in the earlier singles.
Everything to play for, though, in these last 2 frames. As we've mentioned before, you know, the format is 2 singles or doubles, reverse doubles, but a point for every frame won.
Lichtenberg looked cool in his frame until that frame ball black. Just needed that to leave Fu needing a snooker, and he missed it. Did have a later chance on the green, but that was the moment, the black. And Oh Chi Wei, of course, missed the pink, the final pink. Just needing the black as well, which he was on, to beat Kleckers. But he'll have been boosted by that century, the 103 from Fu, to give Hong Kong the lead. It's 3-1 to Belgium now against Egypt. China A 4-0 up against the Republic of Ireland.
Well, it was close twice.
What? Seven.
So Lichtenberg had a go at the red, which had 2 goes at going in, but it's Oh Chi Wei
14.
looking good here in the early stages, just in and around the black here. Quite a few reds to go at. Ding and Liang are going to win 5-0 over the other table, table 1 against the Republic of Ireland. So great start for China's A team. Remind you, they're not the defending champions. It was the China B team of Zhao Yulong and Yan Bingtao that won it 2 years ago. Well, he just kept things as simple as possible here, which is, of course, is the ideal way to play, not try and invite any trouble.
Well, we're talking about this, aren't we, though, about the second string. Don't like to call it that, but you know what we're saying, a slightly weaker player of the team. There's one or two teams like that, but if they can step in like this.
Well, the whooping and hollering that you can hear is for the home city hero Ding Junhui, who has completed that victory over Fergal O'Brien. So 5-0 China A, off to a great start. The one thing, though, there for Ireland is, on paper, that's going to be their toughest match. So they've got it out of the way at least. The only way's up for Ken and Fergal. Last time they played here 2 years ago, they arrived without the cues. They didn't make it off the plane. Had to borrow cues, which wasn't ideal. But as I say, there's still time to qualify. They've got another 4 matches to play. Meanwhile, this is looking promising for Oh Chi-wei.
Well, super break so far here from Oh Chi-wei. Break goes to 53. Still plenty on. Marco Fu would be delighted at this.
That black just caught the jaws for going in. It wasn't clean, and if he's going to feel tense, it will be as the winning line in the frame approaches, which it is approaching. Still needs a couple of reds here.
Well, there's no need to take a risk. I think he's just had a look at the cannon into the pink, but he doesn't have to do that.
Well, really good break this. Just make sure of this black. And if he pots it, it's 2 snookers needed. Simon Lichtenberg really only had 1 chance in this frame. And 1 chance was all Oh Chi-Wei needed. Very impressive.
Yep.
He doesn't have a century in a professional event to his name. He's made them as amateurs, but in amateur events, but in a pro event, this would be a first. Well, sadly, he's missed on 74, so 2 snookers needed. He's in a very strong position to make it 3-1.
Well, he has this red to the yellow pocket, but of course the black is he's not pottable into the left corner. He's going to have to play on the blue here, and if he misses it, it's definitely frame over with the red there. This has to go in, otherwise it's 3-1 to Hong Kong. I think he's missed it. Oh, it's frame over. Got to be frame over.
So Marco Fu's going to come out to play Lucas Kleckers with Hong Kong 3-1 up. And Oh Chi-Wei has played his part here.
Certainly has, and I tell you what, that last frame is going to be important for Germany. As we say, you know, it's a point for every frame won. So, you know, if Lucas can just grab that, I mean, 3-2 is against 4-1 isn't too bad. But of course, that's easier said than done, coming out playing the world number 6.
Well, he missed the pink, of course, in his first singles frame. He would have been disappointed, but he's made amends here in this frame.
Yeah, it's a lovely 74 earlier on. Ah, easy this game, isn't it?
Yeah, all the tension has gone.
14.
I suppose he looks a little bit nervous early on in this match, Oh Chi, but I tell you what, he's settled now. Now he's shown us what he can do. Well, you never know, David. It's a long way to go, but it could be dark horses at the end of the week. Who knows? If they come through their group stages.
20.
Well, 2 qualify from a group of 6 for quarterfinals. Yeah, it was a good 74 from Oh Chi-Wei. 1 visit and effectively won the frame, and he has now won it. So Hong Kong lead Germany 3-1 with 1 frame still to be played in this match. And of course Marco Fu, who made that century in the doubles frame, is going to play it against Lucas Kleckers. But whatever happens, Hong Kong guaranteed to have won this match. Of course, we were looking for 4-1. That'd be a good win. We'll see how they get on after this next break. Lucas Kleckers, his opponent, and breaking off here to try and get a second point on the board for Germany, because losing 3-2 is better than losing 4-1 when it comes to the count back. And it's not just about, obviously everyone wants to qualify, but there is prize money differential depending where you finish in the group as well, so that is important, of course. Kleckers, we saw scramble that frame against Oh Chi-Wei on the black earlier.
Interesting group this, Dave, isn't it? Group B, you know, China Ray obviously I think are favourites in the group. You've got Republic of Ireland, but they've just got beat 5-0, and Hong Kong, Belgium, Egypt and Germany. So they're all going to be scrapping for that second spot.
Yes, they play again tomorrow. Germany are actually up against China, so they're up against Ding and Liang. Hong Kong will play Belgium. Ireland play Egypt. And if Ken and Fergal Can't get something out of that match, then I think the Irish hopes are pretty much sunk.
Oh, that's finished nice.
Just to say, we will later be seeing England-Switzerland. That's yet to start on table one. Judd Trump and Barry Hawkins, of course, a formidable team there for England. That's the thing with Mark Selby pulling out. England, one thing they have got is strength in depth. We know that. Barry Hawkins was next on the rankings. Ooh, meanwhile, Kleckers catches the pink. So back it goes.
You can imagine if Barry couldn't have made it, it would have been Sean Murphy. In fact, England could have put 2 teams in, if they were allowed.
Yes, well, of course, in the 80s, in the old World Team Cup, they had the top 3 players in the world in the rankings. They had Steve Davis, Jimmy White and Neil Folds.
Well, what about...
They won it 2 years running.
Sorry, David, yeah, you're absolutely right. I was just going to say that England could have put 3 teams in. You imagine going down the list, you've got Ali Carter and Ronnie O'Sullivan together in the list. Oh. Could do with this touching. Well, it has been declared, that helps.
Yes, this tournament has evolved. There was, I mentioned England won twice. 1989, they beat a rest of the world team. So these are countries that couldn't get full teams. And Silvina Francisco from South Africa, Dino Kane from New Zealand, Tony Drager from Malta. But we now have 24 countries in the tournament. I suppose 23 because China have got 2 teams. But even so, it's good to see the game spreading internationally.
Caught that far too thick. Might have left one on here.
Yeah, Marco Fu has made a century in this match already.
A little bit under strength, wanted to be straighter on this pink, but it's not a real problem. Just to drop it in and land on one of these reds on the right hand side. Just think that the pink might have to go behind the pack though. Yeah, I think that spot is covered. Well, he's got that. Nicely done. He's queuing well. That was bang in the middle. Yeah, I think this will have to go behind the pack, I think. Looks a bit tight. Well, our referee has managed to get in onto that pink spot. Ding Liang, the referee here, doing the honours in this match between Hong Kong and Germany. Well, I think you can see the one above the black through the gap. Still got the one to the middle.
Nothing. 20. Seven.
Nicely done. It's just run on a little bit further than anticipated. It's always difficult when you're running through reds to calculate the pace. Now this cue ball is near to this side cushion. It's a little bit of pressure on this one, but I expect him to get it slightly downward striking. Ooh, well, it wasn't clean, but you'll take it.
Meanwhile, Belgium have beaten Egypt 4-1. So they're the other two teams in this group. So Luca Brissell and Jeff Jacobs in that team.
36.
Well, Fu more than playing his part here for Hong Kong today.
43.
Well, as we already mentioned, he's already had a century today in that doubles partnership, 103.
44.
You never know, this could be another one. Would have played... oh, he's gone too far. Why did I say that?
Well, he'll be so annoyed because he had so much room there. It's gone wrong unexpectedly. Just as he seemed to have done the real hard work. So the break is over at 51.
Hong Kong, China, 51.
And he's going to have to wait for another chance. Leads by 57 though, so he's in strong position.
Hong Kong in a good position here, though, with a 57-point lead, leading 3-1 in this group match. 4-1 for them would be a good start. And Marco's got Lucas in some trouble. There's still plenty on there for him, but he's got to get these safe first, otherwise it will be 4-1. No, I think he's turned these over. He's gone wide. Needed to be the other side, of course. Well, that could prove to be very costly. I think Marco can punch out for the black here. Well, you would expect it to be frame and match over. Possible slow start in this match for Hong Kong, David, then picked up as it went through from one apiece.
Well, two very nervy opening frames, both on the black, because Fu won his frame. And then, as you say, really steps it up in the doubles frame. Would have been very pleased to see Oh Chi Wei make that 74 as well. And now he needs this black. And it's Germany who need a snooker, but Lucas Kleckers is not going to get the chance to play for one. Or two or three, I suspect. Fu's going to put this away. China A are certainly favourites to qualify, but there's two places for the quarterfinals, so There's a chance for the other teams. Ireland, of course, two big hitters with Doherty and O'Brien, but they've already lost 5-0. Belgium have won 4-1 against Egypt.
Yeah, he got a slight kick there, but it doesn't really matter. Frame a match over.
24.
It's all about putting frames on the board. The group table will sort itself out. It's a good start, this, for Hong Kong. And Marco Fu has certainly played his part. How he'd love to go to that invitation event at the end of the month in his native Hong Kong as a World Cup winner.
52.
Nicely done, negotiating the ball colours.
57.
Well, he's a class act, this guy, once he's started to put it together, and he's shown his class here.
Yeah, I think for Hong Kong to stand any chance of progressing, he's got to win his frames, and that's what he's done today.
This will be a pleasing win for them, there's no doubt about that. And the two German lads, but no, it's all about experience. There's a long way to go yet.
Yes, Kleckers did win his first singles frame, but he's certainly been second best in this one.
51. 52.
He's already made a 51. This is another half century.
71. Four. 58. 73.
So Marco Fu completes victory for Hong Kong. He's more than played a captain's innings in this match. OK, it was nervy early on, but he won that black ball frame. He made a century. He's made 2 half centuries to close it out, and it puts Hong Kong in a strong position with a 4-1 win. Germany with it all to do tomorrow in their next match. They play China, Ding and Liang, so tough one there. But it's Hong Kong happy of the two for sure, because they've won 4-1. Snooker's World Cup is back after 2 years. Last time, of course, it was won by two teenagers, the China B team of Zhao Yulong and Yang Bingtao, just 17 and 15 respectively. And in fact, they've already played today. Earlier on, they beat Finland 4-1, so that's a good start for them in Group A. Scotland, though, were beaten 3-2 by Thailand, but as I said earlier, you get a point for each frame you win, so it's not presenting Germany in the first frame. Just remind them, and then reverse singles. You can hear the cheers for China. That's just introductions there for their team. China A, that is. As I say, China B already victorious today. Over.